Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn our second lesson, that is, the interrelationships between living things. What is interrelationship? The way in which two or more things are connected with each other is called an interrelationship. That means one organism depends upon another organism to meet its needs. This is called interrelationship. So, in this lesson, we will learn how the living things or organisms depend on one another to meet their needs. See the picture here? Observe it carefully. Here is a riddle to solve. An age-old tree with a thick, strong trunk gives deep, dark shade from the scorching sun, like an old man's beard with many strands. It has ropes for swinging from every branch. Which is this tree in the picture? See, it is having strong trunk and it gives dark shade, and it is having many strands from every branch. Which is this tree? Banyan tree. Plants in our surroundings are useful to us in different ways. The names of some plants are given below. For what purpose do we use their leaves? See the first picture. What are the leaves? These are betel vine. So the leaves of a betel vine contains many vitamins. Vitamin C, calcium is present in these leaves. The another leaves that are flame of the forest, palas. The leaves are used for medicinal purposes. They kill worms in the stomach. The another picture. These are fenugreek leaves, that is methi leaves. Water of these leaves is used for weight loss. It helps in proper digestion. Another plant, that is Vasica adulsa. It is used to cure cold, cough and asthma. And the another familiar leaves are curry leaves. They give good smell and taste to the food, good for eyesight and reduces heart diseases. This is tulsi. So like that, there are many plants and leaves of that plants are used for various purposes. So there are so many plants and different parts of different plants are used for different purposes. Now let us see what are living and non-living things. Living things. Things which have life in them are called living things. That means जिनके अंदर जीवन है उसको living things करके बुलाते. What are non-living things? Things which do not have life in them are called non-living things. So examples of living things: plants, animals, human beings. All these living things we call them as organisms also. Now, non-living things are divided into two types, that are natural resources and man-made things. What are natural resources? Things which the nature gifts us, that are called natural resources. They are present in the nature. What are man-made things? Things made by man are called man-made things. Examples: air, water, soil, sunlight, etc. are the natural resources. They are present in the nature. Table, chair, books, bag, etc. all these are made by man. So now let us see basic needs of living things. For example, if a living thing wants to live, what does it require? It requires air to live, water is required to live, food, clothes, shelter, etc. The needs of living things are met in their environment. Environment means surroundings. From their surroundings, all their needs are met. But there are differences in the needs of each kind of living things. For example, see the picture? Here, rat is drinking water. That is, mouse is drinking water. In this, an elephant is drinking water. The water that a mouse drinks in an entire day would not be enough for an elephant even at one time. That means, mouse is a little animal and it requires less amount of water. Whereas, elephant is a large animal and it requires more amount of water. See here, butterflies feed on nectar of flowers. What is the food of butterflies? Nectar. But whereas frog, what is the food of a frog? Frog eats insects. Isn't it? See, in the mouth of a frog you find insect. The another example, see here, sheep is grazing. It is eating grass and leaves. Whereas tiger, wild animal, tiger feeds on smaller animals. See the fish. Fish lives in water. Fish respires in water. Respires means breathes. Fish breathes in water. Whereas pigeon, it cannot live in water and it cannot breathe in water. See the another example, that is, these are the bulrushes. They live in water. They grow in water or marshy areas. Whereas lemon tree, it is a terrestrial plant or tree and it grows on land. It cannot live in water. So all these are the examples. From these examples, what do we learn? The needs of rat is different from the needs of elephant, and the needs of other insects comparing like butterfly, frog, bulrushes, lemon tree, all their needs are different. Now let us try this experiment. Take two pots and label them A and B. Fill them 3/4 with soil. That means you fill both the pots with soil. Third, serve 2 sprouted moth, that is matke seeds, in each pot. What are matke seeds? What are moth seeds? See in the picture. So you are seeing that green pulses, isn't it? They are the moth. What are sprouted moth? Sprouted means germinated seeds. So you have to take these germinated or sprouted moth and you have to sow them in the soil which you have kept in the pots. Then fourth, give 2 spoons of water to the soil of pot A only once every day. How much water you have to give? For pot A or soil in the pot A, you have to give 2 spoons of water every day. What about another pot B? You have to give 4 spoons of water to the other pot 4 times a day. How many spoons of water? 4 spoons of water 4 times in a day. So how long you should do this? Do this for 6 days. After doing like this for 6 days, what will be the result? See here, the plants in pot A are growing well, but the plants in pot B have begun to rot. Rot means sadna. So they are getting decayed due to more amount of water. Plants that are not aquatic cannot grow in marshy areas. If they get more water than they need, they rot. So from all these examples, what do we understand or what do we learn from these examples? We understood that the needs of different organisms are different. See you in the next video.